Hello and welcome to the second of what will now be three sessions of Hearts of Wulin, and with some notable podcasters, including Agatha Cheng of Asians Represent, and then Sherry Stewart, who is now one of the co-hosts of the Main Gauntlet podcast, which we should have that episode up here soon. And then Eric Farmer and Eli Kurtz of Jianghu Hustle. And if you look in the show notes, you'll find links to these various podcasts. They're awesome. So you might as well go and listen to them and add them to your feed. So this is also part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. Essentially, I'm doing this as part of that larger group. If you're curious about what the Gauntlet is, you can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have about 200 games on the calendar this month, which is crazy. I think we are probably going to break, within the next couple of months, we're going to break 200 sessions on the calendar for our game. We also have a blog, we have a zine, and we have various podcasts there as well. So you can check that out. So we made up characters last time. We built our relationships between them, and we established their entanglements, and we put them into play. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have people introduce their characters again. Then we're going to talk about entanglements, what they are, if there's any modifications that need to be made to them, and then kind of give us a summary of where we ended up last time. So let me go ahead and start. Eli, I'm actually going to have you start and give us the elevator pitch on who your character is.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eli Kurtz, one of the co-hosts of Jianghu Hustle, and I will be playing Waiting Heron Yin, stepping back into his shoes tonight. He left the Lashing Wave School 10 years ago after becoming disillusioned with their corrupt tenants. And he has since expanded on the style and made many enemies, including several in the village where we just spent some time. I guess both I and another character, Glorious Horizon, had a run-in with Sour Sadness Bear, the leader of a band of gangsters. And we took him out, but I'm not too happy to see Glorious Horizon because I mistakenly tried to steal her spear earlier, and I need to make amends for that. And I hear that somewhere off in the world, the Lashing Wave School is getting entangled in this whole thing too. So how exciting. Excited to see where it goes.
Awesome. Eric, why don't you give us the elevator pitch on your character?
All right. Eric Farmer here, also from the Jianghu Hustle podcast. I am playing the innocent assassin Wei, who is secretly a member of the Many Venom sect. He's an adopted son of a minor noble family who does not know of his sinister secret. And he had an interesting entanglement with Sun He, and definitely revealed his secret identity to her, which should have some interesting knock-on effects. And I also am under orders by my secret master, Immortal Centipede, to undercut Waiting Heron Yin.
Awesome. I put a couple of pictures on the image tabs of some people there. There are a couple I haven't gotten on there, but there are a few more on there. That brings us to Agatha. Please tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Agatha, the co-host of Asians Represent. I am playing Sun He, and she is the niece of the Emperor. Her family, the rest of her family, are dead by my uncle's orders, so that's really rude, and I plan to get revenge for that. Last session, I discovered a plot. I wasn't sure who they were trying to kill. I think it was supposed to be for my cousin, the Crown Prince, but then they decided to also kill me. Not sure. in the end, I diffuse the situation because I am very good at waving my fan around to make a point. I also discovered that someone I wasn't really that close with, let's see, Wei, has a habit of dressing up like a bandit. Very dashing, but very odd. And that is where I was at.
Awesome. And last but not least, Sherry, can you tell us about your character?
Certainly. I'm Sherry, and I'm playing Glorious Horizon. She is loyal, the devoted child. She is betrothed to Sun He, and she has left on her journey to go to meet her betrothed in the city where they will be wed. But much to her surprise, the party that was traveling with her chose to step away and leave her on her own 2 days in. She isn't sure what message that is from her father, but she's taking it as the most optimistic one, that these are a few days of freedom. She ran into someone who she remembered who had tried to steal the legendary weapon that Glorious Horizon carries. And that thief, Waiting Heron, she gave him such a what for. So, and so he will atone. She will see to it. And she's keeping her chin up. All she knows is that my brother-in-law, Glorious Heron's brother-in-law, has told her that she has to assist Bursting Crane. So she looks forward to meeting that person and being of aid. And also, she heard a wondrous voice, someone that her heart is sure is the one that is meant for her, her soulmate. She's heard his voice, but she hasn't seen him. And all she knows is that for some reason her sister Wandering Moon is she doesn't like it when Glorious Horizon speaks of this. So that's all.
Awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check in with each person, check on your entanglements. If you're still happy with them, this would be the time that you could revise them, modify them if you needed to. And we'll also have you highlight one of them. And what that means is the entanglement that you have highlighted, if you engage with it significantly during the session, at the end of session, you'll get 3 XP for that. The other entanglement, if you engage with that, you'll get 1 XP for that. So it's a way of kind of flagging for the group and for the GM what you want to see at the table during the session. So Eli, what are your 2 entanglements?
My 2 entanglements. The general entanglement is I unwittingly tried to steal the family spear carried by Glorious Horizon, who is the sister of my friend Wandering Moon. And then my romantic entanglement is that I love Bursting Crane, whom I overlooked for too long, and now she loves Sun He.
And Bursting Crane is a friend/rival from the Lashing Wave School, who you've known for years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I can think of nothing I would do to alter this house of cards.
Okay.
I love both of those a lot.
And which one do you want to highlight? We'll probably hit both, I imagine, but which one would you like to point to?
Let's see. I feel like if we're going to do a 3rd session, I would prefer to highlight the spear in the 3rd session. So I think this session I would prefer to highlight the love triangle between Bursting Crane, Sun He, and myself.
Okay. Awesome. And then Eric, let's get your entanglements.
All right. So, Immortal Centipede, an authority of my faction, has ordered me to undercut Waiting Heron Yin, who I respect. And then also, my brother Jianghu and I vie for the attention of Sun He, despite their indifference to both of us. Since we got to touch a little bit on that second one, I don't think I need to change either of them. I think they're still perfectly fraught. But I'd like to loop in Waiting Heron into my story. So I want to focus on that one for this session.
Absolutely. Especially since he will be arriving on site Excellent. And plus, I can, when Immortal Centipede comes in, I can do this a little bit. Very good. Then Agatha, please tell me about your entanglements.
My entanglements are: I am betrothed to Glorious Horizon, but I know they actually pine for Wei. Well, I know they actually pine for someone. I put in Wei's name.
Okay.
But my character doesn't know that. And then the other one is, my general one is: an enemy, Bursting Crane, has come to me to change their ways, but I know my friend, Wading Heron Yin, will never believe them. I don't know. I feel like either of these could be legitimate, since there's for sure... I'll highlight my general one then. Since that's already going to be a thing, then might as well play into that.
Absolutely. And I have a question to refresh me on this. Have you met Glorious Horizon before?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I thought not. I just wanted to make sure. I think that you haven't met each other yet. That we have that this is one of those long distance betrothals.
That makes sense. I know, but somehow I know the secret.
or you'll realize it right away. Imply that could be. Sherry, finally, what are your entanglements?
Oh, I've already said them, but I will restate them because I love them so. So I seek my soulmate, Wei, who I don't know that is him yet, but it will be wondrous when I discover it. But my sister, Wandering Moon, she does not like this at all. The other one, my general one, is that I promised my brother-in-law, Master of Iron and Jade, that I would aid the troublemaker Bursting Crane. And I think that this session, I would really like to get in on that Bursting Crane action.
Excellent. That is perfect. So what I would like to do is I want to frame where we're at from last time, just very briefly. I think we got some of that in our summary of characters, but set the stage for where we're at, and then I want to kind of go around and we'll do individual moments with each character, so they have a chance to kind of interact, chew the scenery, as it were, and then we'll look at having those paths intersect. So we know that the Emperor, Sunhe, God, I'm going to get just Sunhe. By the way, I bought a book on Mandarin pronunciation, and I am working through it very slowly. So, what a terrible person I am. Anyway, your uncle was moving essentially to the Summer Palace, the Summer Estate, a great entourage and procession. It's meant that the town that is nearby the estate has been flooded with merchants and celebrants, and people who are hoping to have an audience and to petition, and anybody in the surrounding region that wishes to pay honor and perhaps get promotions, that kind of thing, will be arriving here at the same time. So it is a chaotic affair. And that has drawn all of you to this place for various reasons. And that is where we're going to take up. So, Sunhe, let's start with you. You had this weird encounter with this bandit in the woods. And that this sometimes now passed since then. And you also had that encounter with that assassin. I'm going to use air quotes for that. So what would you do after that? The hunt is finished, and where would you go? Who would you talk to?
I think I have some conflicting feelings that I because I was really unexpectedly attracted to Wei, and I'm but I also know that I have my my goal, my revenge, also my betrothed. So I feel like I need to sort through that. Which I feel like I should roll inner conflict.
Oh, you want to start right out with your inner conflict to try and decide which direction you want to go with that?
Yeah, I'm a sensitive soul. I got issues.
Okay. It doesn't hurt that in a short game, rolling inner conflict gives you an XP too.
Oh, right, that's true. Okay.
So what do you want to roll with? You're in decent shape.
Yeah, I am. Nothing marked yet. Let's see. I think I need to roll Earth because I need to focus. I'm getting distracted. And I rolled 7 plus 2, so it's a 9.
So this is a 9. Do you think that you would go essentially? I mean, by flee here, it's more sort of maybe confess or try to escape from that situation, drown yourself in something else, or do you want to mark that Earth chi and keep yourself together?
I would like to mark Earth.
Okay.
Which is also, I think that's my style element. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll mark it.
So what does that look like? What do we see on screen to demonstrate that you kind of are worrying yourself about this?
Am I still in that scene with Wei /
I'm assuming we've moved on in time.
Okay.
And if we're doing it like a Chinese TV drama, we're like, okay, how did we get here in the cut between episodes? We don't know exactly how that scene ended up, but now you've come back. Where would we find you?
Yeah, I'm in my quarters, and I'm alone, and I think I'm like looking at my fan, and it's like open. It's so battered at this point, but I'm just kind of staring at it. It's probably there's like an illustration of like I don't know, some kind of bird on it, and I suddenly just snap it shut. And then I look like I'm about to throw it away, but then instead I just like pause, and then I open a drawer and I just throw it in there and close it.
And I think you'll hear a knock at your door.
Enter.
And the door will come open, and they don't enter immediately. They hesitate, and you will see Bursting Crane. She is in her full sort of lashing waves outfit of the school, dressed formally. You had heard that she might be coming, that the members of her school might be arriving here, but she sort of hesitates on the threshold before coming in.
Yeah, I sit back, and I don't think I offer her a seat. I just kind of stand. I sit there and look at her.
And your royalty, so she does come in and she doesn't sit.
Does she do like the proper bowing, whatever that's required?
Absolutely, full formal flourish to acknowledge. She will say, "Sun Ha, I'm."
It's her.
Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway. There we go. It's all filtered through the Hoosier accent. Anyway, I kind of wave so that she could rise. When I arrived, I had heard that you had gone out on the hunt and had gone missing, and I was somewhat concerned.
Yes, you were there with me.
Was she?
No,
she wasn't there with you. Was she, Sherry?
Wasn't she?
She totally was.
Yeah, she was the one that I sent to chase after.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I got her mixed up with essentially a handmaiden. So yeah, that's in that case. Let me roll back in a terrible GM way and edit this. And she will say, you didn't come and find me after you went off, and when I came back to look for you, you were not there. And I heard someone said that there was some sort of fight or some sort of struggle in the woods, but I don't know what to think.
Yes, there were bandits. Did you find anything else about that man?
No, no one seemed to know who they were.
That. Okay, outside of the game, was that person from the Lashing Wave school? Is that something that was established? Or like, who were they fighting? I don't know.
I don't think you're sure. I think they had that black mask on, and I don't think that you were certain about who or where they were from.
Cool. Were they from your school?
And she pauses and she says, I don't know. I've heard and seen many things about our school in the last year, and it would not surprise me if they were. The inner circle serves at your uncle's behest.
And yet, he tried to kill me when he thought I was my dear cousin. Huh. Seems like you've got some factional politics going on.
I don't understand. And she kind of, again, like she wants to come and sit, but you're keeping her standing there. And she's still kind of waiting on that.
Mm. Yeah, I'm going to stand up and then I think like I reach for a fan and then I realize that I don't have one on me and it frustrates me for just a tiny second.
Do you think she notices? I mean, you always have that fan.
Yeah.
So she looks down and did you lose your fan?
I need a new one. That one is no longer serviceable.
I could go into town to one of the craftsmen if you wanted me to.
No matter. I have others.
Oh, okay.
Kristen Crane.
Yes.
You have come to me stating that you have turned against your faction and declared your loyalty to me.
That is true.
Why is that? I would like to study as well.
Oh, okay. Let's have you roll that study roll then. What do you want to roll with?
Water?
Okay.
Oh no, actually no. I should roll with wood because I'm curious. Yeah, I'll roll with wood. Yeah. Okay. I rolled a 6. -1 is 5.
So she kind of you can't get a read on why. I mean, there's clearly something going on, some turmoil that she has, and she is about to say something when you'll see one of the servants, the senior persons, arrives, and these are the people that work for your uncle directly, and they treat you with a certain amount of disdain, and they say, "You are requested to come to the presence of the emperor now."
I throw a look like emperors, right? At Bursting Crane, and then I think I hesitate for a moment, and then I open another drawer and I take out a different fan.
Okay.
And I close it with the end of my fan and I walk off.
And it is a little painful that this underling, because he carries the word of your uncle, is able to order you to come effectively.
Yeah.
And you can see he is a little pleased with that display of power as he marches you through over to your uncle's area. But we'll come back to that and to a visit with the emperor there. It seems natural to roll from that to find out what Wei did after that.
So at some point I had to connect back up with my adopted brother, Jianghu.
I found the prince. He wasn't there. He was over there.
Oh, there's a lot of spirits in these deep woods, Jianghu. Perhaps we were fooled.
Do you think is he pretty deeply superstitious?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, see, just got that. They should not. We shouldn't go. You have to be careful about these things. Sometimes they go into the woods and there are ghosts in them. You have to be careful.
That's right. But I say, well, perhaps we should join back up with our family and see what business we can help them with before the our meeting with the emperor.
By the way, Sun He, she went missing.
Did she now?
Yes. When I went to the larger gathering and they were heading back, she was nowhere to be seen. Her friend, he says, Bursting Crane was there, but she was nowhere to be seen.
I hope all is well with her. I hope that she wasn't injured in the hunt.
And he says, and you didn't run into her, right?
And I said, no, of course not. This face has not looked upon her.
Fair enough. All right. I want you to get an edge on me.
Oh no, you're the older brother, of course.
Very true. And when you head back, I mean, what do you suppose are the kind of quarters or area that you have for your family?
Mm-hmm.
They serve the emperor. There's all these families have come here to the summer estate. What do you suppose your quarters look like?
I mean, my particular quarters are like when you get inside, it's probably like a night, because this is we're still traveling, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's of course the servants put up like the tents every time when we camp, and they get it all arranged. But inside mine is very it's very spare and like orderly. When you go inside, there's a musical instrument in there that's kept tuned, and there's little jars that have like my particular type of tea that I like in there, in my writing desk, and all of that, because in his sort of day persona, he's a very sort of studious person, and then he's got his own sort of concealed area where he keeps all of his night assassin stuff.
Between your adopted mother and your adopted father, which is the one that spoils you?
The mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think then essentially Flower of the Desert, your adopted mother, comes in to check on you on YouTube. You're so late. You come back so late in these hours. Please, everything is fine. Everything is fine.
And I take her hand and I pat it, and I'm like, oh, mother, of course, yeah, everything's fine. And I looked after Jianghu just how he needs to be looked after.
You're such a good younger brother. Such a good younger son. Very, very good. Your father has gone to see to things. We should arrive at the estate tomorrow. So everything should be fine then. He would like to make sure that you are readied and presentable in the morning. I said there was no concern on that. Nothing to worry about. That you'll be all set for this kind of thing. I did bring buns. Neither of you have eaten nearly enough. So and she will put that out for you. Everything went well.
Yes, well, the hunt was less. We didn't get to show off our qualities quite as much as we would have liked, but it was an adventure.
But you're all safe and all fine,
right? Of course,
fine.
Of course, I take the, I'm like, look, I'm eating the bun. Everything's good. I'm sure that there is some sort of like time conflict tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That if something goes wrong with that, I won't be ready by tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. Immortal Centipede has certainly asked for you to be meeting with him at midnight.
Right. Is there like a little he somehow like discreetly placed like a symbol up inside the tent?
What is the sign that you look up and the camera zooms in on?
I think there is just where you can see like the light shining through the tent is the word for centipede, like just kind of like very small like cuts. So when the light shines through, you can see it. And so like that's just sort of shining in my face as I'm finishing talking to Mother.
And she will. I will let you be. I will see you early and bright and early in the morning when we set off again.
Oh, of course, Mother. I must. It's been a long day. I should get my rest.
And she will leave it to you. How do you extricate yourself from your brother?
I in his evening tea, I usually prepare it myself, and it has an extra little aid for sleeping because he doesn't sleep well, poor guy.
Yeah. And I imagine it has no long-term side effects.
No, of course not. No,
okay.
it's fine.
And he's probably at this point you've calculated the dosage, so he has a drink and then he's like, I am a little, and then slumps into his bed. I'm going to cut from you kind of getting yourself ready. Tell me, Wandering Heron, you had this strange meeting with Glorious Horizon, and you kind of split away from her, I believe, at the end of that last scene.
Yeah, I think I ran off because I just couldn't bear to be in her presence any longer. I had to get out of there and try and recover from my previous shame.
And if you travel along the road, eventually you will see the torches and lanterns of the encampment that you guess is the great traveling entourage. I mean, you're not that far away from their final destination, but they've clearly set up here for the night, posted guards and all of that kind of thing. There's probably an encampment of hangers-on, like a temporary town that has set up out here. What would you do?
Well, the thing is, I need to get away from Glorious Horizon for sure, and I need to find some way that I can lay low. But at the same time, the bandits from town are probably still looking for me because I haven't killed Sour Sadness Bear, and so I think. So we know that Wei kind of admires me as a hero of the Wulin, but I'm wondering if we've ever met each other before.
I think we did establish that your paths had crossed, that you have met each other in passing.
Okay. Would it be plausible that I would recognize? Actually, you know what? Have sword will travel. It's one of my moves.
Okay.
Once per session, you may announce your presence in the perfect place to help someone, ignoring the limits of time, distance, or plausibility. And that help is in quotations.
Yes.
So, so I think for whatever reason, I show up in the household encampment of the Wei family.
Absolutely. Wei, your brother has, onto the bed,
Mhm.
and you are making ready to gather your materials of subterfuge, when you will sense a presence at the flap to your tent.
Mhm.
How do you announce yourself, Yin?
Yeah, I think I'm aware that. Well, no, I'm not aware that Wei is a member of the Wulin because he wears a disguise. So I think then I kind of duck in. I'm like, hey, is this a bad time?
I mean, so just to clarify,
Sure.
we've only met like while I've been in my bandit disguise.
I thought it was only when you were in your civilian disguise, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think I break into a big smile and then I'm perturbed, right? Because I'm excited to see you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, it's fine. No. Why don't we take a walk?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a day. I could take a walk to unwind.
And I'm like, I keep like looking up at the sky, trying to make sure that I'm not losing my appointment time with my master.
Of course, yeah. Also, while we're walking, I'm making sure to walk away from the encampment for Glorious Horizons family.
Mm-hmm.
I really want nothing to do with that whole area of the camp.
Yeah, you're not sure. You heard rumors that her sister would be coming, who is a friend of yours, but that might get super complicated here. So.
Right. I feel like I can't indulge that friendship until I've made amends. It's that's kind of the last resort for me, I think. Trying to pull that string.
Well, certainly there are merchants who have set up essentially makeshift wine houses just outside the edge of the encampment. If you wish to head there.
You feel like grabbing a drink, Wei?
Yes, please. But a quick one.
Of course, yeah. So, how's that noble life treating you, huh?
It's, it's not as exciting as yours.
Man,
tell me about the stories of the Wulin and all of the adventures that you've been on since I've seen you last.
Yeah, misadventures more like. Okay, so I show up in the village nearby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, it's going to be a nice, relaxing day because these people, I did them a favor a little while ago. It's going to be great. I get there, everybody's looking at me like I am covered in dung or something. It's just really conspicuous how much people are looking at me. I don't know what's going on. Then I think, oh, well, maybe they'll just leave me alone. Maybe all they want to do is stare. Who shows up? I don't think I can tell you that part. I'm still kind of in hot water about that. Long story short, somebody showed up and it was really bad news. And so I tried to get out of there, but that was a perfect opportunity for all those villagers to tell their little bandit friends that I had stepped away. Before I know it, I'm embroiled in a 3-way fight. Barely got out of it with my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So, the Wulin, heroism, all that stuff, but lots of frustration and headaches too.
But to have so many stories, you can't even keep them straight.
Sometimes it's great. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah, well, it's just quiet life here, but we have early morning. We have to meet with the Emperor tomorrow. Yeah.
Sounds tough trying to figure out what robe you're going to wear.
No servants do that.
Oh, so not even as hard as I thought it was going to be. Gotcha.
But tell me, have you seen Sun He?
Sun He.
Yeah.
Is she who is this? Is she
She's the niece of the emperor.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe in passing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I've seen her name written down or something, but I don't think I've met her face to face, have I? Let me just. Do we? Yeah, no, we're friends. We're friends. Yeah, so, so maybe I'm trying to. Let me just press the rewind button really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, Sun He. Oh, she's here.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're gonna see a little bit more of each other.
Oh, really? Well, you know, I don't mean to brag, but I do happen to have a little bit of a friendship going with Sun He.
Oh, well, you know, maybe you could put in a good word for your buddy Wei.
I'll definitely try. I mean, you know, there's a lot to recommend here. You know, you have servants to dress you. You're gonna go see the emperor tomorrow. That's pretty cool.
Look, I know some kung fu. We could.
Oh, do you?
Oh, look, you just think I'm this reedy school kid, but you and I, we could do a little bit of damage together.
Oh yeah. So I think at this point we're seated at the merchant area, and I'm like, I like lift up your cup, and I'm like, oh, a little bit of drunken boxing, huh? Is that what you know?
And Wei, I think you realize that time is getting tight.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, for sure.
As you're kind of looking around, and it might be a little bothersome to you, Yin, as you see your compatriot kind of maybe looking distracted.
Mm-hmm.
You will also see, as you're there, of course, we've already established that this is a thing, you will see some members of the Lashing Wave School.
Oh, like here in this little merchant place.
They are passing by here and heading on in towards the inner encampment.
Okay, yeah. So I think he looks up and I'm like, what's going on? And then I look over and I realize I have something going on. And I am like, oh, hey, you know, I don't want to keep you.
Can I have kind of a funny moment?
Yeah.
That you look over, like I've looked away, and then you look away, and then we both like miss looking at each other as we both run away from the scene.
We both think we're leaving the other one out to dry.
Right. We pull a Batman on each other.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll come back to the aftermath of that in a moment. But Glorious Horizon. Oh, you gave them such a talking to, and they took off. And now you're heading along, and you will see the lanterns and lights of the compound. This is your, I mean, it's not exactly your final destination, but it's close to it.
I know. Sad. I think she sees it. She takes a few steps backwards. She kind of looks back at the road. She doesn't like avoid it exactly. She sort of takes off running parallel to it so she could see the lights like beyond the trees, like they're flashing by. And she'll just do a little bit of that sort of wind running up into the trees and across and stuff, and sort of enjoying the freedom of it. Running parallel, not getting close enough that it could ever be threatening. And she just sort of dances around up there and exhausts herself because it's coming to an end.
Absolutely. And you will see down below, you know, all of your obligations in one place, and the end of your freedom, right?
Yeah.
That sounds to me like maybe we're leaning in towards an inner conflict here.
It is so unfair of you. So unkind, but I will. Let's see here. So I think that it makes sense to do this with metal.
Okay.
We need to essentially consider, to reflect on what has gone on, and to choose this time to pull myself together and step forward into my obligations. I'm going to try that.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Oh goodness, no.
So, why don't you go ahead and mark that, Chi?
Yeah.
And the good news is, because we're doing a short run game, you get 1 XP for rolling inner conflict, and then a bonus XP for failing that.
Oh, yes, I did fail it pretty badly.
So you are up in those trees, and kind of hiding in you're outside sort of the bounds of the sort of where the guards are at and so on. And you will look down, and you will see what appears to be a couple embracing. And you kind of don't make out exactly who it is until they break apart, and the man kind of vanishes. But you will see your sister. You will see her, and this is Wandering Moon, moving away from that and maybe stealthing back in towards town. What do you do?
Drop down and walking out next to her.
Oh, you want to try and surprise her?
Not so much surprise her as just show up next to her.
Okay. So you can drop down there. I don't think there's any need to roll on that. She will be startled, and she will say, "Oh, you've arrived."
We did.
Excellent. And you still have the spear.
Yes. Are you surprised?
I surprised is not the word I would use at this moment.
So who is that?
Who is what?
She points over there.
She says, "I don't know what you're talking about," and she proceeds to move on.
And she goes, all right. And I will say, I will see you in a couple days.
But they're expecting you.
In a couple days.
But you're already here. What am I to tell mother and father?
What are you going to tell them about the person you were just with?
She looks away and lets you move on.
My mood is improved.
Okay. So let's come back to Sunha. You're gonna laugh every time I say it. It's so bad.
That's good. That's good.
So you've been called to the presence of the emperor, the largest tent, the most regal tent. The guards are out there. We get the full show of finery, all of that. Your cousin is there, the emperor's son, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you'll see dressed in their finest clothing. They've clearly traveled during the day, but at night they've been dressed for the last 2 hours by their handmaids. You see those 3 daughters of the emperor. They are the 3 wicked stepsisters, if this were a fairy tale, that are there in the sort of the finest, and they've been given opulent clothing just for the journey and so on. And what's your manner in approaching?
Yeah, they look good. I have to. I go in and I definitely do the bow to my unc, but so like whenever he Oh, actually, I guess I would be walking up. So when I walk up, I wink at my cousins, like looking good, and then I go up to my uncle and do the, the actual greeting.
Are you trying to impress your cousins, or are you trying to show them up in some way, or are you just following proper decorum here?
Oh no, I'm just flirting with them.
Okay, all right. So they will look at you, and they talk amongst themselves briefly. Your uncle is there.
Yes.
And he says, much is going to happen in the next few days.
Wait, does he like release me from my vow, or does he not?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wait, like with my head bowed. I'm not looking at him.
Yeah, and there's that moment where you kind of wait to see what, and he waits a couple of beats longer than he ought to before he makes the gesture for you to relax. He says, you will remain inside the bounds of the compound as it travels this next day, and when we arrive, you will stay within the bounds of the estate.
Uncle, I have something to report.
Please.
And I like say this, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like reaching inside my sleeves. I'm like, and then I reach again. Ah, yes, and I pull this out, and I kind of like wave it around. It's basically the robe that the I don't know, that person dressing up as the crown prince left behind. And I say, I have uncovered a plot, uncle. I present it to him.
And he will, what is the meaning of this?
I was taking a leak in the woods when I discovered...
There's just gasps all around as you say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was taking a leak in the woods when I discovered this man lying there looking almost exactly like my dear cousin. And then I like, to my dear cousin, I walked up to him because maybe he is napping. I don't know. I walked up and the man sprung up and attacked me. And I thought, well, that's not right. Certainly that cannot be my cousin.
Who would have dared to lay hands upon you, my niece?
Exactly. Uncle. And then I like stop to like grab a wine cup from a nearby table, and I'm like, oh, so thirsty. And it turns out he was wearing this robe. I shouted at him saying, you're not my cousin. You can't be the crown prince. And when he heard that, he ran away. And all I could catch was this. Wow, this wine is very strong. Is this robe? I would like to impress.
I think that's perfect. Absolutely. This is you trying to impress him with this story. What do you want to roll with?
What should I roll with? I'm pretty sure it should be fire. I'm being very liberal with my story.
That seems fair.
Okay, we'll see how this turns out. Oh, I rolled a 6. Oh,
He is now. You have a choice. You could burn a bond if you have something that's appropriate to push yourself to a 7 rather than humiliating yourself in front of the emperor.
Yeah, I suppose I should. I'll burn my bond with the imperial court.
And so on a hit, you impress and convince. You get to pick 2 options: create a bond, clear a chi, or gain a favor.
And are you also going to offer me the complication or hard choice? Or
yes. I think the hard choice is that he will say what he's going to offer you is that, of course, seems like you're putting yourself in way too much danger, and he is going to assign a bodyguard to shadow your footsteps.
That's perfect. And I think I like freeze for a second, like, fuck. Of course, that is very generous of you. Thank you, Uncle. This wine is very good. Where is it from? And I would like to. Let me just double check what I can do. Okay, I would like to clear my chi so that my earth is no longer marked.
Exactly, so you can actually fight.
Yeah, in case I need to knock out my bodyguard. And the other one I would like to do is, create a bond. I would like to create a bond with my cousin, Musue.
Okay, he likes you already, so he maybe is impressed with your salty talk in this, and your manner. He's like, because he doesn't talk like that.
I've been drinking
in front of his father.
Yeah,
would never just take up the wine like that.
Yeah. Oh man, my poor cousin. Yeah, and I think I like wobble around, and then because I think his alcohol is actually extra strong. It's like the good stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just like thank the emperor with a bow, and then I stumble to where I should be sitting.
Okay. We'll cut away from that. Let's deal with. I think let's see what Wei is doing, and then let's figure out how Yin is tracking down his comrades. So what do you think, Wei, is the challenge of getting to this meeting place with Immortal Centipede?
It is being able to let's see. I think that I actually know quite a few people in this area, because I am a that's one of my moves, is that that like common salt of the earth folk like know me.
Oh yeah, they respect you. Any of the servants and laborers who are around here who know you, call out to you.
Right. So I think it's sort of like the Superman problem, where I keep trying to like pull my mask on, and every time I do that, it's like, oh Wei, you have to try this dish that I made, or Wei, like, how are your mother and father, and oh Wei, all of this sort of thing, and like I know that the time is ticking on, and I keep having to make like excuses to go, and so I end up being late to my meeting with Immortal Centipede.
And so you will show up late, and Immortal Centipede is there. He is waiting, and he does not look happy.
And I say, 1,000 apologies, my master. You always tell me how important, the secrecy is, and there was an extra challenge this evening, several extra challenges.
Clearly, I had not told you enough of the importance of this.
Of course.
Challenge did you face?
This particular crowd knows Wei, and it presents a challenge for slipping away into this identity.
I have told you before that this identity that you hold and cling onto, this will weigh you down. You should strip it away. Become what you can be.
You know, I follow your teachings, but I have duties to my family, Master. You knew this when you found me. I can't give them up as well.
So you say. Well, I have something that I need you to do for me.
Of course.
I have recently heard that a particular agent of the Wulin has arrived and been seen in auspicious company.
Who is this that I might relieve of their problematic nature?
There is one called Waiting Heron.
Yep. Inner conflict.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. So anything except my style element. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let us see if I can. Let's see. I'm going to use metal. I'm going to see if I can control my reaction.
Okay.
That is a 6.
That is a 6. Now, you can burn a bond.
Mm-hmm.
You have something that's appropriate to bump that up by 1, or you can take the 6.
I'm taking the 6.
Okay. So the good news is you're going to get 1 XP for rolling inner conflict, and another XP for undertaking that.
All right. And that maxes me out.
Yes, you get to take an advance.
Sure.
And he says, I thought so. So Waiting Heron is your friend.
He's Way's friend, Master. I'll take care of it.
In 24 hours, he'll be dealt with one way or the other. If you wish to give him some mercy, then you will deal with it.
And I bow and any more instructions, Master?
No. Let us see if you can carry these out.
I won't fail you.
And he says nothing. He starts to say something and he holds back.
Mm-hmm.
And let's come to Waiting Heron, who is even, we cut away from that, your name being spoken, and then no sense that's going on, but you are looking for some people. So what would you do? Are you going to follow these members of your order who are moving around here?
They are my former order, and I know that they're corrupt, and so I'm wondering why they're here. I think I would follow them.
Okay.
Again, at a distance, maybe more successfully this time than I had with Glorious Horizon last time.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to make a study roll.
Okay, study. I declare chi for every one of these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to roll, you say, I'm going to roll with this chi.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's going to be wood, patience, growth, or curiosity. And let's see how this goes. Where did my dice go? There they are. Well, it's a 7.
That is a 7. So on a 7, you get 1 hold. You can use that to ask a question about a person, ask a question about a situation, find out someone's scale, or declare that something is, in fact, the case.
So we know that last time the Lashing Wave sect attacked this guy who was disguised as the Crown Prince.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff going on with that.
I think, and my options again are have one hold, and I can do any of the options under study.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I think I want to know the intentions of the Lashing Wave sect. Yeah.
They are here clearly at the Emperor's behest, that there is something significant, some change afoot, that the Emperor has called them here to be his lackeys to carry out. It doesn't sound good. I mean, just the feeling you get off them that they are here to change the scales.
Okay. Well, I do know somebody who's close to the Emperor, so I think my next plan is to seek out Sun He.
All right. To try and make your way in to get to her. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's any hope of me actually getting an audience in the court, but I'm definitely going to go to that area and kind of wait for her to be in a position where I can come up and talk for a bit.
All right. We'll come back to that. Maybe we can cross paths here soon. Glorious Horizon.
And I think that essentially still up in the trees, and I see him. I see Waiting Heron walking behind some people, and I sort of watch because they're kind of a strange group. I mean, he's clearly following them. So I kind of follow behind him up in the trees to see what's going on, except that I get distracted because I see, let's see, what's her name? Bursting Crane? Yes. And I have promised my brother-in-law that I will aid her. She seems to be watching them too, which means she knows what's going on. And so I have an excuse.
So do you sneak up to her? Do you send a message? How do you approach?
I do this. I wait until the others that he's following go past, and she sees them. She's watching. Then I watch for Waiting Heron to go past, and she's watching. And then after he goes past, I jump down, so I'm right behind him. Not right behind him, but I jump down so that I'm right in her eye shot then, and I walk right towards her.
And Bursting Crane kind of brings herself short, like this is unexpected, and she will say, "Glorious Horizon."
Bursting Crane.
What are you doing here unaccompanied?
She goes, "Unaccompanied? I have the spear. I'm here to help you."
Help me?
Yes.
Help me how?
I have 2 days all to myself. I'm here to help you any way you need me to.
What is where? I don't understand. What is your business here?
Well, in 2 days I will come and meet my betrothed. But until then,
who is your betrothed?
Doesn't matter.
She's kind of like, come on.
She goes, no. I have 2 days of freedom.
She's going to push on you here.
Really?
So I would like it over. I think that she's going to try and get that out of you.
Okay. So what do I need to roll?
I think that's overcome to resist her push.
All right. I am super thrilled with the idea that I will be able to help her like my brother-in-law asked me to, and yet it will be a time of freedom. I'm fierce in this, so I will use, I don't know, what is, this seems like fire to me. Okay. And I should be able to mess this roll up really well.
Please do.
Yes, exactly. That gives me a 7.
All right. So she's like, okay. She's, well, you can help me, and we should probably find Master of Iron and Jade, and your sister.
No, that will not assist at all.
What do you mean?
He was most clear that I was to aid you in the quietest possible way. Like I'm not even here.
I am suspecting that you may be elaborating on your instructions.
Not at all.
Well, I was headed back to see what I could do to aid. And she kind of pauses, like she doesn't say a friend.
Oh, okay. Your friend is my friend.
Oh, good. Well, let us make our way there. You can accompany me. I am known, and we'll make our way over there.
All right. Oh, I should probably have a name in the meantime, right?
Yes.
Oh, it'd be a good name. Obsequious Bloom.
Obsequious Bloom. Fair enough.
All right.
I will endeavor to remember that and fail.
Oh, come on, you can do it.
So we cut back to our noble princess Sun-He, and we see. Are you still drinking in front of the emperor, or have you been dismissed at this point?
I have. I think I've left. Maybe I invited my cousin along with me.
I don't know if I should. But as long as we stay within the bounds, right?
Yes, of course, of course. I've heard the peach blossoms are amazing this time of the year in the East Garden. Why don't we just?
All right, and he will follow behind you.
Mm-hmm. And like as soon as we walk out of. And I think I like wave for the servants to like fall further back. And as soon as we walk out of the earshots of like the various guards or whatever that are standing around, I'm gonna like swing my arm around his shoulder and then look like I'm just like drunkenly talking to him, but I'm gonna whisper to him, "Cousin, you are in danger."
What do you mean?
The man I was referring to, he thought I was you, but he was also dressed as you. Clearly, he was meant to kill you and then replace you. I don't know where he is from, but you are in danger.
Oh, well then I should go back and get a bodyguard to come with me.
And I'm gonna put a hand like on the back of his head and just kind of like and I pat him again. Cousin, you misunderstand me. If you're in danger and you make a big deal out of it, we will never find out who it is that is behind this. We have to root it out ourselves.
All right.
Oh, I guess I can't use a deadly secret because maybe he's not from a sect. Because it's like, that's the one where you know the martial world well when you first meet someone. Yeah, I'm not first meeting him. Okay. One day I'll use it.
Well, how about I give you an opportunity for this? Because you will kind of sense and see that there is a figure approaching in that way that says that here is the bodyguard that your father, sorry, your uncle has sent to watch over you.
Great.
A deadly secret, when you first meet someone from another faction or group, you may ask about or declare one detail. So tell me something about them as they come up.
I like how you assumed that I wanted to declare something, because I did, definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, what is the detail that I find out about them? What is Wei's sect? The many venom sect. It's also working for my uncle, right?
Well, they're sort of I believe sort of a strangely. How would you describe that? Let me have you, Eric.
Yeah.
Say how you imagine that.
How I imagine that.
Many venoms, do they work for the Emperor? Are they on their own? What do you picture for that?
I picture that like they are like they're for hire, and so like they have a largely sort of like mercenary ideal, but they do have certain allegiances, but I think they're trying to secure their way into more nobility.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to declare that association. I think what I see when I look up drunkenly is I see that his hand is resting on his blade, which is very aggressive and very rude. But his eyes dart first to the crown prince, and there's like an assessing look that he gives him before he then turns around to me, and then before he then like glances at me, and I feel like there's something that's not right between them. There's some kind of. It seems like his mission is not about guarding me or like basically watching me so that I don't do anything stupid, but about my cuz right here.
Hey, I have a question really quick. I hate to interrupt this.
Sure.
But the have sword will travel move, I already used it, but I didn't exactly help Wei. I kind of hindered him.
Okay.
Could I say that wasn't actually me using the move and I use it now instead?
That's an interesting question there. I'm going to let Agatha decide because she's sort of the player holding the scene. So what do you think, Agatha?
Well, friend, how would you like to help me?
You are in need of a bodyguard, aren't you? I guess you do have this bodyguard that's watching over you.
I haven't identified them. You could be faking it and arriving on scene.
Sure, why not? Let's make the scene more complicated. As there's this like charged moment between the three of us that isn't like charged between us, but everything is charged.
Yeah.
Except for my cousin, who maybe is oblivious. Maybe isn't. I don't know.
Yeah. So you arrive somewhere. There's a bodyguard that's looking for her that is eventually going to arrive, but you can show up and announce yourself then, waiting Heron.
Yeah, so I think then we're all looking at each other, but maybe I'm in shadow and you can't see my identity right away. You can just see me standing there with the sword, with my hand on my sword. And
wait, so you're this guy, or is this guy someone else? I'm confused.
I think you're saying that you're this guy that just arrived, right?
I think so, because you were saying this guy was your bodyguard who had showed up, right? And he was like checking out the crown prince.
Yeah. Oh, so it's you.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the crown prince looks at you, waiting here, and goes, you must be the bodyguard.
Oh, man.
Does that work? I don't want to ruin anything.
No, but then doesn't that mean that I can't declare a detail about you?
I'll let you declare the detail.
Yeah, you know what? Let me just back out of it then, because
okay.
I would rather let you do the move.
No, it's fine. It doesn't actually. You can totally be here. We haven't had a scene together yet. Why don't we have it in the presence of my cousin?
Or this could be you were looking at a dude that you can declare a detail about, and I just happened to show up at the same time.
Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's roll back to Agatha's original thing with this other person, and then we'll have you observing the scene so you can figure out if you want to insert yourself into that. Does that seem fair, Waiting Heron?
That works for me. Yeah.
Okay. So give me one physical detail about this person who's got their hand on their blade there in a rude way, who's looked at your cousin. Is it a man? Is it a woman?
I think it is a man.
Okay.
And I think I want to be, his descriptor is that his hair is put up not with a cloth, but it's a silver circlet, which indicates that like you can only really wear that if you have some kind of, you're either born of like a noble family or if you have an official position somewhere, or if you're just like a rich dude. But that's debatable. Yeah.
And he says, "I was sent by the emperor to guard you," and looks and bows to you and not your cousin.
It's the crown prince. That's rude.
"I was sent to guard you." He bows again with a weird monofocus to him.
Oh boy. I'm gonna clap my cousin on the back, like, "Hey bro, I got you." And then
Cousin goes, "That's the Dragon Fist Killer."
the dragon fist killer.
He won the great tournament last year.
That's a lot for a name. And I'm gonna turn to him and oh, I don't have a cup on me. I'm a person who needs a lot of props. I think I break one of the branches of the peach blossom and then I smell it. It doesn't smell like anything. I don't know if peach blossom smell like, but I don't think this one does. And I'm like, great. And then I just like throw it at this dragon fist killer. This is the crown prince and you will respect royal blood. I'm gonna hearts and minds him.
Ooh, interesting. Let's do that, and then we're gonna yank Eli in on that.
Yes. Let me see what I want to roll with. It has to be Earth because it's my presence.
It's entirely up to you.
Oh man, no,
risk it.
I'm gonna roll with Earth. Oh.
Okay.
We'll see. Oh, good. I rolled 7 + 2 is a 9.
Okay. I think you can ask 2 questions of them. Essentially, that they kind of get like maybe a little bit angry and reveal something there. What do you want to know about them?
Are they actually sent by the emperor?
He has actually been sent by the emperor.
Okay.
What's your second question?
Does he plan on injuring the crown prince and then blaming me for it?
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm paranoid. Plots are everywhere against me.
He is here to injure someone, but it's neither of you two.
But he's disrespecting the crown prince. Interesting.
As you're kind of like getting maybe a little bit upset by this disrespect,
I'm not actually upset, but I'm making this scene because I know that this is what I should do.
Then we certainly do see that. Then I think we have Eli, Waiting Heron. You see this. You have arrived up. You see this conflict or at least strong tension going on between the very lovely Sun Hua and the crown prince and this other somewhat sinister looking fellow with his hand on his blade.
Yeah, I've started walking. Like, I think I've released my poor cousin finally, and I'm like walking drunkenly forward and like, I don't know, laying accusations into this dude.
Waiting Heron, do you want to are you gonna let this scene go?
Hold me back, bro. Hold me back.
Well, something I'm curious about, this mysterious figure is there to hurt someone, but is not there to hurt either of these two.
Right.
I'm wondering, would I be able to tell just automatically if this figure is clearly from the Lashing Wave School?
That'd be a study move.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do first.
Okay, let's start with that.
All right. And this would be
anything you'd like.
It's going to be water for me.
Okay.
Trying to do this stuff with my school and everything. So that's 8, 9, 10.
So that is 2 hold that you can use to ask questions or make a declaration or learn scale.
Yeah. So first, let's see. The 2 things I want to do, I want to first declare that this person is indeed from the Lashing Wave School.
Absolutely.
And second, I want to learn this person's scale.
They are from the Lashing Wave School, and you see them, their stance, you see them move, and when they walk, you can almost see the shifting in the air, and you know that you couldn't take this person one-on-one. They are definitively above your scale.
Okay. But I do see my buddy Sun He down there.
Yeah.
So I think while this situation is escalating, do I want to reveal myself is the real question here. I think, yeah. So a question that I had earlier that I put into the chat was that whenever I marked my condition from failing a fire roll last time, should I also have described that with one of the suggested things connected to the chi?
That's entirely for color to kind of help you have a sense if you want to roll into it. It's more of a fictional descriptor than anything.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I think having marked that, I am kind of more reckless than I was at the beginning of this thing.
Yeah.
So I am indeed. I was hanging out on one of the nearby rooftops observing this situation. And I think I'm just going to kind of light body myself down there in such a way that I create a triangle with Sun He and the Crown Prince on one point, this guard Dragon Fist Killer is his name on the other point, and then myself on the third. I'm going to say, Sun He, hanging out with my old accomplices, I see.
Yeah, I was like, I think I was really working myself up into a froth. And but in like maybe I'm just drunk, but I'm also pushing his buttons kind of way. And then you like really threw me off. And I'm just like,
So
hey. Are you here to enjoy the peach garden?
It looks like a very enjoyable peach garden.
It smells great.
But perhaps with one too many waves.
And we will see that blade start to come out, and I'm going to cut away from that over to the other 2. After we take our 5-minute break, we got to take our mid-game bio break, so we'll take 5, and we will come back with Glorious Horizon and Wei, and then we'll see what's going on there. I'm very much of the opinion that Hearts of Wulin GMing is all about just scene management, and saying when we roll inner conflict. I would like to have Way and Glorious Horizon cross paths, since we haven't seen that pairing there. And there are a couple of ways I could see it. You are still in your masked identity, I believe, right, Way?
Yes, I am.
So I think it's only right and proper, given that she's heard this voice and maybe seen this masked figure, that she catches just a glimpse of you heading back.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Especially because I'm in turmoil.
Yeah. What am I going to do? You're there with Bursting Crane, Glorious Horizon, and out of the corner. What does she see, Way?
So I think for a moment illuminated by moonlight, because I am not because I am lost in thought about what I'm going to be doing. She sees a masked figure running across like the top of the tree line, from branch to branch, perfectly silently, but also illuminated by the moon for just a split second. And a glint of steel shows from like underneath, like where my wrists are, and you can see like some of the darts.
Absolutely. So, Glorious Horizon.
I think she. Oh, and so the first thing she does is, you know how she has that white cloak and everything. She sort of pulls it up, turns it inside out. It's black on the other side with a flower embroidery. She puts it back on. She leaps up after him. She's going to follow, find out what's up.
Okay. Do you say anything to Bursting Crane?
I think I turn back and I go, "Are you coming?"
I think this is going to be an overcome. It's just to see if you alert Way to the following or not.
Okay, let's see here. What makes sense for that sort of thing? I suppose that should be water, right? No, sure. Is it? Or fire? Maybe fire. It's a little reckless, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit speed and passion, and I don't know. +1. Let's see what happens. So I am awesome beyond belief. That gives me 12.
12. So Way, where does she follow you to? Now you're hidden, so she's not going to necessarily discover your identity unless you permit her to do that. But she is going to follow you. So where does she follow you to?
So I think I end up on the roofs in the town. Okay. Because that's the last place I saw Wading Heron, and I'm hoping to pick up his trail again. And I'm just about to like give up on that, especially because I think it's getting late enough that things are starting to wind down a little bit.
And you have to get up early.
I do, but I can't think of that now. I have so much to do.
So perched on the roofs, moonlight hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Glorious Horizon.
Yes.
What do you do? This is that man that your sister warned you about.
I know. He's doing something interesting. So I look back at Bursting Crane to see how she's reacting to this.
She's following behind you. She clearly doesn't. I mean, she has other, but
she goes, "There's something up. Do you know who that is?"
No. It looks like a bandit.
It does, doesn't it?
Should we take him in?
Well, we could.
All right.
But maybe we should watch first.
But why?
Because he hasn't done anything yet.
But he's wearing a mask. Who wears a mask like that?
I don't know.
Only bandits. A true brother of the Wulin would not hide their face like that. They would show their face openly.
Oh, it's true. All right, we will go and confront him.
Okay. That maybe not what I meant.
Exactly.
So, how do you announce yourself to this masked figure, Glorious Horizon?
I think like we're on the roof, and I sort of jump onto the other roof, and I come up right next to him, and I say, "It's a beautiful evening tonight." But I'm standing there, I'm looking at him suspiciously, and yet really intrigued.
and I turn, and I'm like, "You're up late, little one."
And I blink and I pull myself up straight. I say, "You're dressed like a bandit."
Not a bandit, and I like step closer.
Ugh.
An assassin.
Yeah, I kind of think that her spear just kind of comes and like smacks you, like she just goes walk like that when you say that. Like she's not even thinking anything. It isn't even an attack. It's more of like she's just pushing you back. Does that make any sense?
Like, I mean, I can even see that you just like push me back, like in the chest, and I have to like step back that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I say, well, it's lovely, but it is a lovely evening, but maybe you should be off to bed.
She goes, "I think it might be important that you retire first."
And I like do like a big like stretch, and then I like jump backwards, like onto like the next roof.
All right. So is this one of those things where I just follow him, or essentially?
Are we playing that game of
Yes.
follow?
Yep.
So what do we see? I mean, what is the merry chase that you lead her on?
Yeah. So I think it's like ever more precarious surfaces that like we go from like a rooftop to like the top of a fence to like the top of a wagon, and she keeps being like right behind me, sort of like landing spot for spot till I find something that's like deliberately off balance, so that like when it tips up, she'll like fall into me. So which like we land on at the same time. I weigh more than she does, and then so she'll fall into me.
All right.
Glorious Horizon, I would like you to roll inner conflict.
All right. Let's see here. I think I will take this as a water.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. Ugh. 5.
So you need to mark water.
Damn it. I mean, oh.
And you have a choice here.
Yes.
You need to just, you can't handle it. You need to get out of here.
Okay.
Or you need to describe to me how you absolutely embarrass yourself.
Yeah, I think that this is the time for the horrific humiliation. So she slides into him and she realizes that she's going to end up like right there up against him, and she actually sort of ducks down, except she slides, and I mean she falls off of whatever it is, and she's sort of like trying to catch herself, and you hear this kind of squeak in the dark as she falls down onto the ground below. Just
no, falls down. We'll hear a splash.
Okay, awesome.
as you fall into a trough.
Oh, awesome.
There's some horses there, and you are now soaking wet.
All right. I will pull myself out.
Mm-hmm. And as she's like struggling to pull herself out, I blow her a kiss and then I vanish into the night.
That
He's so
seems
cute.
that seems appropriate. Now I'm going to cut from you two because we may depending on what happens in the other scene, your travels out in various directions may see something happening elsewhere. So let's figure that out. Waiting Heron, you see him pop that blade. He's got one of those long, wide swords with the sort of the square end on it. Pops that, and he begins to draw.
You're very popular, friend.
Blessing and a curse. And I haven't even touched my sword yet. But this guy draws, and I'm like...
He's doing it very slowly, like he wants to see what you're going to do.
Dragon Fist Killer. This is no way to say hello to an old friend like myself.
You are no friend.
Well, we were once, right?
Whoever you were before, that person is dead. You left us.
I assure you, I am still very much alive. Even after 7 bandits tried to stop me. And I have to tell you, 8, well, that number's on my side.
He pauses there because he's kind of talked a little bit, and he realizes that he's drawing his blade. He's in front of the crown prince and the person he is to guard, and he will look to you, Sun Hua, and says, "Do you know this one?"
He's my friend.
Oh, and he looks. He is visibly angry. It takes him a moment to pull himself together and not display that reaction, and he will step back.
So I turn to Sun Hua and I say, "Friend, how do you know this one?" Pointing at Dragon Fist Killer.
This is the Crown Prince.
Oh, my lord. I think that Waiting Heron purposefully doesn't know anything about courtly etiquette. So he's going to fail to do the right thing, but it's like he's going to try.
Good. As long as you make an attempt, then I can move on.
Is this the one that's going to come and kill me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cousin.
Hello.
All right, friend. I need your help.
I would love to get out of the trouble I'm in. How can I help you?
What?
Oh, we can talk about it later.
Great. Let's talk about it later. Someone is trying to kill my cousin.
Oh.
That's me.
And at this point, I imagine that I've moved over to the two of you, and
Yep.
Dragon Fist Killer is over on his own. Not including the guy over there?
Weirdly enough, no.
Huh.
Despite his name.
How strange. Do you know who it might be?
No, that's why I need your help.
Oh, yeah, I could find that out.
Great. I'll be counting on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, I've been meaning to visit my really handsome friend Wei. He might have some information for me.
Yeah, when you say wait, there's like a moment where I'm like,
And when you're silent for a little while, I'm like, he's a real stunner, isn't he?
I don't mean to be too forward, but are you two? Are you two in a relationship?
Well, not
if
anymore.
you mean to brag to me, I a toast to you if I had a freaking cup of wine, which I really need right now.
No. I assure you, we had an amicable parting, and we are fast friends now. No more.
Oh, so you used to? Oh, I see. This is awkward. So the romance is gone, but it's an amicable parting, is what you meant.
Yeah, and I would really characterize the romance as fleeting. It was pretty coy. But I hear that when he's really interested in someone, he tends to stick around a little longer. He can show up at strange times.
I don't understand what's happening.
All right. Let's have you roll study.
Yeah. Let's see. What should I use for study? I am cautious, right? I think.
Okay.
So that's. Oh, but I don't want to use Earth. I'll use it. Whatever. I'll use Earth. Roll with it.
You're losing money not doing it.
Yeah. Oh, and I rolled a 10.
Oh.
Great.
So, questions?
Yeah. So it's PC to PC. Oh, I don't get to declare something.
So you don't get to declare something, and his scale is on your scale since PCs are equal scale. So you can ask him questions.
Okay, so my question is like, is this a story? Is what is happening right now someone really trying to push their ex on me? Like, this is what I want to know. Priority 1.
Okay.
It's not like I'm trying to dump baggage on you so much as I'm trying to pass on a gift.
But you definitely used to be lovers.
I don't think it was ever consummated, but I think there was like a kind of courtly love situation that went on for a little while. Like in the couple of times that we met, it was like, oh, are we flirting? Oh no, maybe we're just friends.
Interesting. There's only one way that I can take it, which is as an insult.
Oh no.
And my second question, is what is my second question? How do you feel about me?
How do I feel about Sun He? You see, I don't know that I'm aware of my romantic entanglement just yet. And that would definitely change how I feel about you. But right now, I really enjoy your company. I think I'm kind of an iconoclastic kind of guy, and you seem to have those vibes within the Imperial Court based on the stories you've told me. So I think you're really fun.
Yeah, there's that moment where this look like is in my eyes, like I'm really offended. But
Dragon Fist Killer looks a little hopeful when he sees that fire in your eyes.
Ha! This calls for drinks.
Hey.
Where is Bursting Crane? Bursting Crane. I'm just gonna call for her, and I assume she will appear.
Bursting Crane?
So let me cut from that to the fact that Wei, as you head back, you will see Waiting Heron and this other person and Sun Hua all companionably talking, and the Crown Prince.
So I'm just gonna hide my presence and just watch the scene for now.
Okay, that seems perfect. So we see you observing
That's
from around
right.
the corner. All right, and you've come back to where Bursting Crane is, kind of drying yourself off a little bit. Then, Glorious Horizon. Give me.
Oh no, I think that you've forgotten. I am the devoted child, and my family is here. So I see myself going to my sister and going, I need a change of clothes, please.
Oh, well, Bursting Crane, actually, you'll see her take off. Like she hears something and like
you're
about to go and get dried off, and you see her go and whoosh, takes off.
Okay. I go after.
Okay. And you say her name, and there's 1, 2, 3 beat, and Bursting Crane is there. And she'll bow.
I wave so that she can stop bowing. Let's have some peach wine. This place needs peach wine.
I will go and get it.
And this is you're both of the. It's just as a reunion of the waves, right? Just can all wave at each other.
And she'll turn and look at you there, Waiting Heron.
Bursting Crane.
Waiting Heron.
You know Sun He.
As do you.
So I guess a lot of you are here, huh?
She is my right hand.
That I am.
As soon as that happens, I want to study Bursting Crane.
Okay. Let me ask what Glorious Horizon does. And then I'm going to have you roll your study. Glorious Horizon, you see Bursting Crane go up into the scene, and you will see, it's that man, that thief.
I know, but I also hear that she's supposed to go get peach wine. Go get it for her.
Okay. Go fetch the wine. All right, let's have you roll.
Wait, are you visible? Sorry.
Good question.
My question was to Glorious Horizon. Are you visible to us, or are you still hiding?
I think she was hiding, but I have no doubt that when she turns around to go get the wine, that you catch sight of her. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I just see like a back disappearing with all these peach blossoms, petals drifting around.
Let's have you roll that study then.
Okay.
You want to roll with?
I'm going to roll with metal.
Okay.
I'm calculating right now. And I got a 9 total.
Okay, so you get a declaration or a question or learn her scale.
I'm going to... I can't reveal a detail when I do this. Is that what you said?
You can. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. She's an NPC, so yeah.
I think what I want to do is I just want to become aware of my romantic entanglement and see the romantic feelings that Bursting Crane holds for Sun He.
Yeah. You have that crush, that strong feeling, and you will realize why she's here. Mm-hmm. It's the way she stands. It's the sidelong glance. Mm-hmm. It's everything about her manner. The sort of small pride and blush she gets when she's called the right-hand man.
I see in her the mirror of myself every time I looked at her while we were still students together in the Lashing Wave sect. Oh, yeah. And I see the affection I hold now for her has been passed on to Sun He. And then I look at Sun He and my smile fades.
I think we're going to have you roll inner conflict.
Oh boy. Okay.
Let's see how this goes down.
I think I'm gonna roll metal again.
Okay.
This is like a caution, sort of stealing myself situation, and that's a 7.
That is a 7. So you have a choice. You can mark that metal and keep yourself there steady, or you can flee.
Yeah, it's gonna be fleeing.
Okay.
So I think my smile fades. I'm looking at Bursting Crane and Sun He, and my heart just wells, and I can feel it rising up into my throat. And almost before the words are out of Sun He's mouth, I'm like, peach wine, can't do it, gotta go. And then I just run away.
So he takes off. Flees off into the night. So, what's your reaction?
Well, this is awkward. And I'm glancing over at Bursting Crane. What is her reaction?
Her reaction is she narrows her eyes. Like, more than anything, she maybe seems a little disappointed. Like, this was somebody that she knew and maybe had some respect for, and he saw her and ran away. Not a sense of love from her, but disappointment that a friend did that to her.
Yeah, just as I thought of the word friend zone, I see you. I think I've pretty much caught all of the situation that's going on, because I think I'm a very socially observant person, as people who grew up with volatile childhoods often are. I feel like I give her this look like, hey, not bad.
She nods. Are we still getting the peach wine? Says your cousin.
Oh yes, and wait, isn't Wei on the scene as well?
Yes. Now I'm going to cut to Wei. Wei, you're observing, masked, watching this. You see Bursting Crane come up, and you see that dynamic change.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see your friend, Waiting Heron, runs away, like clearly hurt.
Mm-hmm. I chase after him.
Okay. So, Waiting Heron, where does he catch up with you?
I think there is a river nearby the encampment, and I am right there at the water's margin, just seated on a rock, and just head in my hands, weeping.
So I think I walk up behind Waiting Heron, and
The shot is ominous.
yeah, it looks.
We don't know.
And I think when I'm walking up, I'm wearing the mask. And then when I bend down to put my hand on his shoulder, I've taken the mask off. It's stashed. I'm back in my Wei persona, and I say, only love could cause a warrior to weep like this.
Love, yes. And the caravan of all my failures. I have ruined so much, and it's all come back just today, and I deserve this misery.
Well, What do you say? We wake up some old wine cellar, and we open a few jugs.
Wine to escape from wine. It is fitting. I only ask that it is not peach wine.
And like as I'm like leading my friend out from this scene, I'm like stashing my my darts and stuff like back up my, like they had, like in one hand I was comforting him, in the other hand I had the darts in the other hand, like I was ready to kill him.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
I'm going to cut from that. Glorious Horizon, you bring them the wine?
Of course I do. I bring them the very best peach wine that my family has.
How? Oh, go ahead.
Ocean Crane says, Sun Hua, this is a friend of mine.
To whom do I have the honor of this meeting?
And I bow, and she bows. She curtsies or bows to you beautifully, like trained since she was tiny child. She says, I am obsequious blossom.
And Bursting Crane like stops and goes to like is going to say something.
Speak. Who is this really? Strangers are not allowed in the Imperial Gardens, whether it's the summer court or not.
And she looks at you, Glorious Horizon, but she doesn't love you like she loves Sun Hua.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm sorry, this is my friend, Glorious Horizon.
Glorious Horizon.
And I bow again. Just the least little bit of a pout, but she bows again.
Oh, I definitely step up to you immediately. Still a little like wobbly, and I like help you up. Hello.
And you hear from behind you, isn't that? Wait.
Hello, betrothed.
It is perhaps a day or two earlier than I had planned. My apologies, my betrothed.
Yep, I'll tuck a strand of dripping hair behind your ear. No. This is exactly the right time. Please,
Fortuitous.
let's get you changed, betrothed.
You see, Bursting Crane is. Her mouth kind of opens and closes a couple of times.
You'll excuse us, cousin.
And your cousin goes, sure. I will go back. Since your bride to be is here.
Yes.
And when I hear that he's your cousin, I do the obeisance again, like completely and absolutely.
Yep. And I wait until you are done, and then I look at the crown prince.
And he gestures for the Dragon Fist killer to like escort him back.
Oh.
To like, not entirely dumb. So he does gesture for that and leaves you with your bride and Bursting Crane.
And Dragon Fist Killer leaves with him?
He clearly goes like I'm going to go take him and then I'm coming back here. Like a direct order from the prince, he can't ignore.
Yes, I wave at him. Like I'm dismissing him, but also like I'm waving goodbye. And why are you here, betrothed?
And she stops and says, I was traveling to this place and I came upon it sooner than I expected.
You won't say that it's because you wanted to see me?
She was pursuing a masked figure. And Bursting Crane then looks down.
I've seen him before.
Bursting Crane, if you could grab just a change of clothes.
But
for my betrothed.
But I don't, I mean, I shouldn't just leave you here.
If anything were to happen, I'm sure she can protect me. I have heard that she is quite skilled in the martial arts.
And I will bow to you, and I will bow to Bursting Crane and hold my spear, indicating that I'm willing and ready to defend my betrothed.
And Bursting Crane rushes off. We see her tears streaming down her face as she gets out of sight of you. Moonlight catches those. Even as we cut to a shot of the two of them drinking, under the moonlight with this seller who's been woken up late, to serve them. We see Bursting Crane running off and just tears running down her face.
Oh, okay. I was gonna.
What's your final word here for this scene?
Oh, I was gonna turn back and ask, do you think me cruel?
And I think that you see, when you look back, that she's looking up into the trees behind, like she's looking for someone, and she turns back and says, "Oh, no. No. I was meant for you."
And yet your heart is with another. Come, let us enjoy the sights of this garden.
And I think that's what we're stopping for tonight. I think that gives us two good stopping points, a break point where we can start with the next day on the table. That seem cool with everybody?
Yeah.
There is end of session XP. Eli, did we hit the entanglement that you highlighted? Oh yeah.
I love Bursting Crane, who I overlooked for too long. Now she loves Sun He. I think maybe.
Yeah. I think we're going to give you 3 points for that.
Great.
I don't think we had you cross paths with Glorious Horizon tonight, did we?
No, not at all.
Okay, but the 3 points is there. And that should give you enough for an advance for next time?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Wei. I think we definitely hit your highlighted one.
That's true.
So
I don't think we really hit the other one.
Yeah, I think that was very much in passing on that.
Yeah.
But definitely the 3 points for
Okay.
Immortal Serapede.
I had a question.
Sure.
I failed a inner conflict roll with metal.
Mm-hmm.
Was I supposed to mark it?
No. You only mark it if I take that as part of my move.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is, by the way, the single biggest question I get, and I need to be better about having that clearer in the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I see why it's a confusion at times. But yeah, you'll get that extra point for the inner conflict if you haven't already marked.
Yeah, I marked it already.
Okay. That brings us to Agatha. Did we hit your entanglements?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it has to do with Bursting Crane and Waiting Heron. So even though
I think we got both of them.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Strongly.
Yeah. And then Glorious Horizon, did we hit yours?
I think so. That we hit like one half of each of them.
I think
like my brother-in-law and my sister weren't like in the scenes when I was.
But I think there was some pressure. I think there's touching on both of those. We had scenes that were driven by them, so I think that's fair.
All right. So that's 3 points? Or
3 points for the highlighted one, and then 1 point for the other one. And under other moves, it has a list of possible advancements. That was a nice natural stopping point, so I'm pleased with that. And we will see whether this resolves in comedy or tragedy next time. I don't know, but we got some interesting stuff on the table. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.